I didn't vote for Trump.
The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
The vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact.
I didn't come from the elites.
He was a nobody.
J.D. Vance, author of Hillbilly Elegy.
He came from nothing.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
You said idiot if you voted for him.
I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Might be America's Hitler.
An idiot and a moral disaster.
You've got to respect the American people enough to just level with them.
But wanted to stand for something.
I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president.
Himself.
You know, Senator, this is an evolution.
All of a sudden, he decided not only isn't Trump noxious and reprehensible, he's now the greatest president of his lifetime.
JD is kissing my ass. He wants my support.
From the party with no platform.
I'm a never Trump guy.
He's the best president of my lifetime.
A man with no convictions.
Donald J. Trump guilty on all counts.
And a man with 34 convictions.
I did absolutely nothing wrong.
In a story about freedom.
It was meant to be, at least a little bit.
Okay.
Freedom to rig elections.
Give votes to all children in this country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of those children.
The freedom to be racist.
Now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
And the freedom to control women.
Roe versus Wade is an abomination. We're effectively run in this country by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice.
J.D. Vance also thinks stepmoms aren't really moms. Women should be staying in marriages even if they're violent marriages.
These swing voters do not like him, and they do think he's weird.
No, we're not weird people. We're actually just the opposite.
From the directors of 2 fake charities.
We've always had a good chemistry. JP, right? J.D. Mandel.
It's Hillbilly Felony.
I love you guys.
This is now starting to not be Donald Trump's problem. This is starting to be the Republican Party's problem. We have to call him out for what he is. He's a felonious thug who walks down the street and throws sucker punches at people like Brian Kemp, like African-American journalists, like John McCain, and the list goes on and on and on again. And the Republican Party is content sitting across the street watching it happen and not calling him out, not jumping into that fight and saying, you are wrong for us. This 10% in the middle, which now feels like it's growing to be bigger than 10% in the middle, that's going to decide this election, are paying attention. And I've never seen a human be more self-destructive than Donald Trump the last 2 weeks. He continues to do it over and over and over again. And when he loses, and the Republican Party finally catches their breath and wakes up and says, we need a GOP 2.0, there'll be some people around, but it's going to take time to fix.
Is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me. And they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. And a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. Well, you go up to Connecticut, and you look. Now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Thank God that's not the test of whether or not people have rights in this country or not, whether or not they pass your look test.
Depends whether or not you're approving it, sir.
No, it's not a question whether I'm approving it. It's not a question whether I'm approving it. Mr. Trump, you know in the history of this country where we've heard this discussion before, they don't look Jewish to me.
Oh, really?
They don't look Indian to me. They don't look Italian to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a test for whether people could go into business or not go into business, whether they could get a bank loan. You're too black, you're not black enough.
So I just heard that J.D. Vance was supposed to debate Kamala Harris, and now she won't do it. Why is she scared? Answer me that. Why is she scared, guys?
Maybe, and hear me out, it's because J.D. Vance is the vice presidential nominee, and Vice President Harry is now the presidential nominee, and the vice presidential candidate doesn't debate the presidential candidate. Could that be it? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk for preschoolers.